Hi yogis, and welcome to this Meta Yoga video. Today I wanted to break down Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana 1. This pose is often done in ways that aren't necessarily incorrect, but perhaps they're not benefiting the student in the best way possible. I often see it done in ways throughout different classes, throughout different cueing techniques in local studios and even in magazines, done in a way that we lose glute activation and we create a bit of an unstable pelvis and a back bend, and that's not what this posture is about. So this is how we often see it done in magazines and in those studios and with those cueing techniques that I was referring to. So we often hear the focal point of having the front thigh parallel to the earth. So if I place my hands on my hips now, my left hip is really quite open here. There's no glute activation. If I start to face forwards and lift my arms, I'm also in a back bend and my ribs are flaring out. That pose doesn't really feel great for me in any way possible. So let's find a way to practice it safely, and to do so I thought we would start from our Tadasana pose, mountain pose. So this can be done with your feet together, or it can be done with your feet hip distance wide. I like both. You can practice any way that feels good. I will practice with the feet together for today. So often Tadasana is done in a way that feels like we're standing in the military. It's really strong and it limits our breath. So often we hear the cues, lengthen the tailbone. Some people even encourage a lock of the knees, which for me straight away is just jamming into my lower back. Shoulders roll forwards, up, back and down, palms turned out, chin tucked in. This does not feel great. If you see that from side on, we get that tuck of the pelvis. So that tuck of the pelvis does lengthen the lower back. But if we practice it with locked knees as well, there's just so much jamming here for me now. If I roll my shoulders up, back and down, palms facing out, my ribs are flaring out, and chin tucked in, there is a lot of tension in my body right now, and I can't breathe too well. So yoga should be natural movement. It should be nurturing as well. So if we're not breathing well, and if we're not feeling comfortable, then we're not practicing yoga. So let's find a way to explore Warrior 1 in a way that is true yoga. Let's bring our feet either together or hip distance wide. Let's find a nice relaxed Tadasana first. So all I need to do there is just softly bend my knees. This has naturally tucked my pelvis under in a way that's comfortable. My lower back is nice and long. My ribs aren't flaring out. And let's just lift the shoulders up a little and back a little. And you can keep your hands hanging long. From here, imagine you've got a ponytail at the back of your head and someone's lifting that up. That will help elongate the spine and press the back of the head back, and the chin will gently drop. So now I'm in this pose and I'm relaxed. I can breathe and it feels good. And it's serving its intended purpose, which is to ground us and rebalance us before we move on to another posture. So, side on. If you watch my lower back as I move into this, all I'm doing is just bending the knees. So naturally I have hypermobile knees, so you can already see my knees are locked. That's how I would stand naturally until I learned to bend the knees and soften my joints a little bit more. So for me, I want to exaggerate that bend and bend a little bit more. And so you'll see as soon as I do that from a natural stance, so bend, my lower back lengthens and my pelvis is naturally tucked under. And this is done in a nice way because my glutes are subtly active here too. If I then lift my shoulders up and back a little, and just let my arms hang long, my ribs are still contained. I lift my ponytail up to the sky to elongate the spine a little bit more and draw the chin in naturally. So this feels good. I can breathe into my belly, into my chest and into my back. I feel that there's freedom in my fingers and in my toes, and it just feels comfortable and great. So we're going to use that now to help us to step back into our Warrior 1. So if I bring my hands on my hips and I find my nice relaxed Tadasana, just bending those knees, natural tuck of the pelvis and lengthen the lower back, we want to keep our hips facing forwards in this posture. So I'm just going to take a couple of little steps back with my left foot, and as I do, I'm going to turn my left foot out. So a little step back, my hips are still facing forwards. Another step back, my hips are still facing forwards. I can feel I can't go much more because I'm getting a stretch through my back leg. So I'm going to stay here in this stance, which is really quite short. My front knee is over my ankle. It's not further than that, so we don't want to go too far, otherwise we'll create a shearing effect through the front leg. And from here, if I soften my back knee, I've got that nice relaxed pelvic tuck. My lower back is long and my ribs are still contained. So from there, I want to pull the shoulders up and back and slowly turn the palms out and raise the hands up towards the sky. We also want to keep lifting the shoulders up towards the ears because this creates more stability and more comfort in our bodies. So what we often hear and see in yoga is shoulders being pulled back down away from the ears. So that's all good and well when the hands are down, but when we lift the hands up to the sky, the natural movement is to lift the shoulders up, which is what I've just done. If I then tell myself to pull my shoulders back and down, it doesn't feel great, and it creates instability through the shoulder joint. So we want to look after ourselves in our yoga practice, and we want to move in ways that are nice and natural for us. So lift your shoulders up. So another way to come into that pose and to find your stance is your nice relaxed Tadasana, hands on the hips. Pivot on your left foot now. So turn your foot out. Turn it so far that you can feel your left hip open. We don't want to go that far. So when that happened, my left hip opened and my right hip tried to follow around a little bit. So what we want to do is keep the hands on the hips and only open to the point where we can feel that the left hip might be starting to open, but both hips are still facing forwards. That's the angle you want your back foot to be in. So here I will softly bend my right knee and start to take my couple of steps back. And as you can see, I have a slightly wider stance. Often we see this pose done where the front heel is in line with the back arch or heel to heel alignment. But it is really beneficial to have the feet slightly separated so we're not on a tightrope. And that's actually a lot better for females, because you have to remember yoga was designed for males and us females have wider pelvises, so we need to take that into consideration throughout our practice. So if I softly bend my back knee, I get that nice pelvic tuck, and I can easily raise my hands up by lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. My ribs are still contained, and if I wanted, I could look up towards the hands. So it might look like a bit of a nothing pose, but there's much more benefit thanks to that glute activation. So if I practice that side on now, I'll step back with my right foot this time. Instead of opening my hip out to the side, I keep the hips facing forwards, and I just start to bend my front knee and take a couple of steps back till I find my pose. Again, it's not a long stance, but I'm getting a stretch through the back leg still. My back knee is softening to tuck the pelvis under naturally, my ribs are contained, and I can raise the hands up towards the sky. I'm not in a back bend, I can feel my glutes are nice and active, so you can even place your hands on the glutes and feel that sensation. So often in yoga, we have weak butts, and we really need to change that mindset, and we need to work towards strengthening the glutes. Often the reason why our glutes are weak is because we have unstable pelvises because of the ways that we have been moving. So we really want to focus in our practice on pelvic stability and glute activation, and that will help everything else balance out. So look after yourself in your yoga practice. Move in nourishing ways. Move in ways where you can breathe with ease, and in ways that create strength and stability, not so much focus on flexibility at this stage. Remember, yoga should be relaxing, and you should walk away from it feeling energized and never overexerted. Enjoy the practice. Thank you for your time. Namaste.